Hello, people. So this morning I'm going to answer 10 questions that people have asked me about my beliefs in keto and all of that environment and world that I have been making videos about my own journey I've been making videos for about a year, maybe just over a year. I've been doing the ketogenic diet for 2 years. Oh, yeah, 2 years. Oh my God, 2 years in 2 weeks. I started, oh no, 2 years and 3 weeks. And I started on May the 8th, 2023. I had heard of keto before, but in a very vague sense where somebody mentioned ketones years earlier. I didn't really understand anything, but I thought it was crazy when I started because I grew up on potatoes, porridge, and flour, like most people. And I thought the food pyramid was an absolute, and it turned out that it's not. But anyway, that's just the way that my blood tests have indicated that that is correct. Now, like I said, I'm kind of 8 months keto a year and 4 months not keto if you break down the amount. I do drink alcohol and I do eat non-keto food now and again. Of course, if there's a birthday party, if there's a party, if I'm meeting someone for lunch. The other day I met a friend of mine I hadn't seen in a long time and I had a piece of carrot cake. I had a latte with milk in it and I didn't worry about the lactose because you can't live like that. We live in a very non-keto world. Of course, there are where a lot of things are becoming keto. People are getting more into their health, but we live in a very non-keto world, and I'm here for it. I love floury stuff. I love porridge now and again. I love. I used to live on porridge in the mornings. I realized what a shit diet that was. But I do love dipping my toe back in the water because those things are yummy. There's a reason we eat them. I love having a McDonald's. I love going out to a restaurant and having potatoes or whatever. I do not eat potatoes in my house. I don't eat hardly any carbs. Me personally, I don't eat. If I have chili, I have no rice. If I have beef chili, if I have any kind of carbohydrates, it would be in the form of rocket leaves. So I don't eat root vegetables in general, but I do put some carrots into the chili, which is considered a more intense carbohydrate. And when you cook carrots, they will have a higher carb load than when they're uncooked. So they're better uncooked. But anyway, that's an aside. But so in general, I have a fun time for what, if we condensed it, it would be about 4 months of the year. So if it's a sunny weekend, I'll have a few drinks. And of course, when you have a few drinks, what do? You have a few munchies, maybe. You might have some crisps, you might have some chocolate. That's real life. So I do live in the real world and I want to have birthday cake. If one of my kids is having their birthday, I want to have a birthday cake. I did do 2 keto cakes over the last 2 years. Epic fail. But anyway, so we went back to the normal sugary shit. So I think it's okay to dip into the sugary shit sometimes, but I also do intermittent fasting. And I think that's an important part. But intermittent fasting is extremely difficult if you are not on the ketogenic diet or if you're not fat adapted. So intermittent fasting allows your body to use up its own glycogen stores and its own fat stores. This can be helped along with intense exercise or walking or something like that. Then I go on a massive spritz of walking. I could walk every day for 2 months and then I will do nothing for 2 months. My average walk count on my phone will be 200 steps a day. I no longer wear an Apple Watch. I used to wear one, but it was so annoying to be tracking everything that I take. I hold my phone in my hand when I'm walking. Anyway, the 10 questions, and the last one is going to be the most interesting. So the first question that people keep asking me is, do I believe in keto? Yes, I believe in keto. I have had 3 blood tests. Yes, my cholesterol is higher than the average person's. However, it's not crazy. And I believe that higher cholesterol is better. There are 2 forms of LDL is considered the bad cholesterol. LDL is made up of 2 parts. There you have the large buoyant, which is good. And then you have the small dense, which is bad. And what happens is when people eat a lot of refined carbohydrates, they have too much of the small dense. But we've lumped them all in together. There is a test you can get. It's very expensive. I even have not yet got it yet, but I trust that I know that my LDL is large buoyant because I do a mainly ketogenic diet. And for threat of heart disease or heart attack, I rely on the triglyceride to HDL ratio, which should be below 1.5. Mine on average is 0.423 in my blood test. It's never been above 1.5, except the very first one was 1.3 or something. And that was months after I started keto. So that is where I trust that one. So do I believe in keto? Absolutely. Would I like to be on keto 12 months of the year? Yes, but I don't have the discipline. Plus I have kids. So I'm not going to be sitting around, and they've dipped in and out of trying the ketogenic diet. We kind of have a rule that we don't have carbs for breakfast. I don't have any breakfast except coffee with heavy cream, fresh ground coffee out of my little $39.99 coffee machine, the little thing, because I got sick of using the pods. I actually have gone through a few pod machines, but they're so wasteful for the environment. Anyway, we won't get into the environmental sustainability argument. That's not in the question. So question 2 is, do I believe in longevity? There's an obsession at the moment about longevity, and we have Brian Johnson driving Are We the First Humans? He's online, Brian with a Y, Johnson, and he is doing an experiment called Blueprint, which he has invented. He also now sells products where he's basically asking, are we the first humans that will live forever? And his ambition is to live kind of forever. And good luck to him. Now, he's doing a lot of different things. He's on a very strict diet. He takes a lot of supplements, blah, 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 blah. I actually really admire him because he's doing it on himself, and he is imparting the information to the rest of the people, so you can take it on if you want. Some people think, oh, it's a money-making exercise. That is not true. He is putting his money where his mouth is, as I am myself. And if you're willing to do that, you also have to take the criticism. He's very good at laughing at himself. My attitude to marketing, if you like, is be authentic and be able to laugh at yourself. So I absolutely believe in longevity to that extent. Am I obsessed with longevity? No. I do believe in longevity as in you can increase your length of time here on earth, probably with good diet, probably. I really don't care. How can I tell? I'm way before that time. My main focus is prevention of illness, and I feel a million times better than I felt when I was on my ordinary average Irish diet, which I was on for far too long. I feel great. I feel amazing. I feel happy. I'm never stressed. I don't feel anxiety. I just feel brilliant all the time, even when I'm a little bit chubbier, which I am at the moment because the weather has been great. So I've been having a few bottles of wine. And of course, like I said, what happens after the bottles of wine is there's crisps and chocolate and munches. So that's kind of what happens there. So I don't mind that because I'm going to go back into a period of keto again. I did a 17-day water fast a couple of months ago, and I feel amazing. I just feel great. Now, some people in the keto world don't agree with that level of fasting. It happened by accident for me. I didn't really plan to do it. I had planned to do a 36-hour fast. It ended up being a 17-day water fast, which was incredible. And I can tell you, in the weeks after that, I never felt so good. And I was not at my skinniest. I was at my skinniest about a year ago when I was really ramping up the keto. I put a lot of time into it, and I was down to 156. 154 is my ideal weight, so 156 essentially is 2 pounds overweight. That's with the extra weight that your body should carry anyway. You should always have a little bit in reserve. So I looked my best, and I did feel incredible, but it took a good bit of work to stay at that level, even on the ketogenic diet being very strict. And because I don't want to be on it all the time, in that somebody's birthday comes up with them, oh, no, I'm on keto today. So I don't want that, because once you eat carbohydrates, your blood sugar will go up fairly rapidly. Although my body is very good at handling blood sugar now, but also you will get an insulin spike. The insulin is the thing to control. So what we're trying to do is control the hyperinsulinemia. And the problem with the modern average Irish or Western diet is that we're eating carbs for breakfast, blood sugar goes up, insulin goes up. So we have this all day, we're spiking. So next thing, we're a little bit peckish 2 hours later, we have an apple, or we have some juice, or we have something else, and the blood sugar goes up because it's carbohydrates, refined carbohydrates, so blood sugar goes up. So all day we're doing this spiking it's called hyperinsulinemia. Read Dr. Jason Fung's book about hyperinsulinemia and the connection with cancer. And we're not allowing ourselves to rest. So that was part of the reason that I was fasting for 36 hours, which turned into the 17-day water fast. And I was cleaning up my cells. I know too many people getting cancer and other chronic illnesses, and I have never felt as good. I was not hungry. I was cooking for everybody in this house, and I was cooking every day, breakfast, dinner, and tea. And that sounds very old-fashioned, tea. I was doing all the cooking. I do not bake. Baking is not done in this house at all. I think that was an essential thing because it helps you to control, because baked goods is very Moorish. You know, you're going to be eating a lot of baked goods. Sorry, this is going to go on for ages. So what I'm going to do is I'll break it into more parts in this, and I will answer question number 3 in the next video.